Well done. Good day, everyone. This is Capital FSN Academy. So, in this video, I'm also talking to the new members, people that is just coming into trading industry, and those of you that want to join trading, I want to learn how to trade. So, the thing there is that someone asked a question. Someone was like, "How do I understand the movements in the markets, and how do I understand the laws, how all of them works, that the laws sometimes it contradicts each other." Now I want to explain something. The person made mention of using order block, that in order block you mark the candle, but if you are using support and resistance, you don't know where you place your support and resistance. Immediately the person made that statement, I discovered that he doesn't actually know much about support and resistance. That is why he made that statement, but he thinks he knows, just because maybe the person that taught him used just maybe 1 month or 2 days or 1 week to teach him support and resistance. In fact, support and resistance is one of the most important strategy in trading. Yes, it's supposed to take you at least 6 months for you to be grounded. Yeah, you can learn it within a month or this, but for those of you learning online, I know the reason I say 6 months. The reason I say 6 months is that support and resistance, if the person really wants to teach you very well, the person will start, after teaching support and resistance, he will start bringing it in to, okay, ICT, he will teach you this, he will bring ICT, the another way of the reformed way on ICT, to explain it to you. It's just like you understanding, okay, the reason we do this is because of this. Now let me give you an example this way. When you're marking your SMC's order block, there is, I think, is it not 3 ways SMC stated that you should mark your order block. First, you can mark only the week. You can mark only the week, use the only the week as your order block. Second, you can mark both the wick and the candle together as your order block. Third, you can mark only the candle as your order block. That is the third main way. Then to add spices on it, they have now said you can use 50% of any other block as your entry. 50% of any other blocks as your entry. So that is how to mark your order block. Now let me explain how to mark your support and resistance. Now, when you're marking your order block using the wick, you're focusing more on the liquidity. When you're marking both the wick and the body. Now, remember the wick will be 2. There is one at the front and one down. So if you're buying, use the one down. If you're selling, use the one up. If you're using the wick. But if you're using the whole candlestick, perfect. But most of the time, I always tell people, when you are using the wick, marking out the wick as your order block, you don't need the 50% anymore. Only if the wick is very long, you understand? I now still use 50%. But if it is very long, switch to another time frame. If it's 2 hours time frame that is very long, go to 45 minutes. If it's 45 minutes that is long, go to 15. If it's 15 that is long, go to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and go. You understand? It doesn't matter. You that is trading, you know the perfect thing you are looking for in the market. So now, when you mark it out, that is how you implement it if you are trading SMC. Then come to people trading support and resistance. Now, on support and resistance, there is a way to mark out your support zones and resistance zone, and that is where you look at the points, the area of concentration, the area of reactions. Okay, previously, how did this place react on this zone? How do you react? If you are looking at that part, that one is a very big explanation that will take another video. The video will be uploaded on YouTube. Then another way of marking it is that you don't just place your support and resistance. Instead, it's either you take 50% of the wick when you are placing your support and resistance. It's either you take 50% of the wick, or you take the candlestick where the candlestick stops. So let's assume this is the candlestick and this is the wick. So instead of placing it on the wick of 50%, just place it on that place that candlestick closed or opened. You understand? That is it. That is how to mark your support and resistance. Now, refer it back to your SMC. Marking out the wick, putting your support and resistance either 50% of the wick or where the wicks ended. What is the difference? You understand? It's actually a big topic on itself because there is a lot of things you check. When I talked about area of reactions, how it reacted. Now, for those of you that have plotted graph in your physics, you understand that when you're marking out a slope, after making your points, marking out your points with stars or anyhow dots, then now tell you to make a slope. Now, how you are making the slope, you don't just come in and draw the slope. There's a way you do your calculation that if you are taking the slope, each point at least, the slope should touch at least 3 points, 2 to 3 points. Then every other point should be close to the slope. So you make it in a way that there is no point that is far away from the line that you use as a slope. That is it. For those of you that did physics, if you do not understand it, actually meet your friend to explain it in detail, because some of you think that trading is just going forward. No, there's a lot of laws that is applied to it. For those of you doing stochastic, yes, so you understand. So for those of you using Fibonacci retracement, you understand, because Fibonacci retracement is purely mathematics if you do not know. Just that the system have already made it easy for us. So like it have already done the calculations and just give us. Or if you are using pivots, if you are using pivots, is also a mathematical calculation. If you are using SMC DMA, SMC RSI DMA is also a mathematical calculations. That is where the equation is RSI is equals to DMA bracket 2 times DMA over 2 something. I don't have, like I have it in my book, the formula. Well, it's something else. I don't think I need to cram it off heart. I don't need it. You understand? So the formula says 2 times EMA into bracket n close bracket minus open bracket EMA close bracket EMA n is the period. You understand? So this is how to calculate it, but you don't need it because the system is already doing it for you. So another thing there I want to explain is, for those of you that you are trading SMC and you are just taking it strictly how it is. Now, SMC is not every other block. There is another block. Some other block is a trap and they call it inducement. Now you ask yourself, what is inducement? For those of you doing business administration, accounting and co, you understand what inducement is. Inducement is just like I want to buy iPhone and you don't have the particular one I want to buy. Maybe it's Samsung that is available. Then you try to convince me to go into Samsung, knowing fully well that Samsung might not, I didn't say will not, might not give me what I wanted. You understand? You just convince me. So in trading now, that inducement part is like the market creating another block, making it look real, while it knows that there is a high possibility the market will not respect it. Yeah, some inducements market will respect it, at least give you 50% before pulling back. But some of them, it will just come to it, tap it, show you a bullish reversal as if the market wants to move, then it will drop. Mostly where this one happens is where you had a very high momentum movement, or when you had a breakout. That's where you see it. Then for those of you that is using BOS, change of characters, let me tell you something. Now, when a market changes a character, that does not mean it will start moving in that situation. In fact, it is sweeter for you to trade a change of character than trading a breakout structure. Now let me explain. When a market changes a character, how do you explain? How do you know a market changes a character? Or why do you call it a character? Every change of character is a